Welcome to the Detailing Down Under podcast, the place for everything auto detailing in Australia right now. Here's your host, Dale Guthrie.
G'day and welcome to the Detailing Down Under podcast. I'm your host, Dale Guthrie. So we're back at it again. Another pod, another week, which is good. Lots of good feedback from my latest one, and even the one from Jared as well, from recently from Platinum Auto Salon. Some good feedback. He spoke really well, so that was really good. So today, you wouldn't believe it, we've got another Melbourne Detailer, which is good. We're loving them, and they're always good to help out and come on for a chat, which is even better. So got a really good one today. We've got Steve from O'Connor Car Detailing down in Frankston. So good morning, Steve.
Morning, how are you?
Not too bad.
That's good.
So yeah, thanks for coming on and making the time.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. It's always good to be able to help out and sort of talk about a few things in the industry.
Yeah, no, and you've been around a little bit, and it's yeah, and I think what I see online, it definitely shows you're looking apart from your shop. That's for sure.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we try to sort of make it as professional as possible. So yeah.
Yep. No, it definitely looks like that. So how's things in down your way? Business pretty good?
Business-wise, it's good. Yeah, we've got a reasonable flow of work coming in. I'm hitting my monthly targets, which is the main thing, or exceeding them. So business is flowing well. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, nice. So all right. What got you into detailing, Steve? Where did you start your O'Connor Car Detailing? How long ago was that, and the ins and outs?
So what got me into detailing was I actually find it relaxing. I just enjoy getting out there, sort of polishing a car or cleaning a car, and it's just relaxing for me. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'm one of the guys that love it, so it just made sort of a bit more sense to sort of channel work into that direction, I guess. Started part-time in 2017, so I'm relatively new still, but not that makes any difference. Basically, it was quite funny how it actually started. It's I just detailed my own cars initially. Obviously, I've got a lot of cars, unfortunately or fortunately. Currently I'm at 7 cars. 5 of them are black, so
right.
Yeah, I know, bit of a nightmare, but anyway. But yeah, it happened just sort of, detail my own cars, and then there was a lady who posted on the local community page in regards to wanting a car detailed, and the neighbour over the road actually kind of dobbed me in. Said, go see this guy. He looks after his cars really well, and talk to him. And that was pretty much my first ever paid detail job. Previous to that, I had sort of wanting to learn how to detail properly. Like everyone, you start out washing your own car and thinking you're doing the right thing, and finding out that what you're doing is all wrong when you go and talk to someone that knows how to actually wash a car, which is where Dan from Detail Central came in. So I went and met with him and chatted with him with the products, and we sort of got talking, and then from there it sort of led to me buying a $99 bloody DA from Supercheap, polishing my own car with that. Took a while, but we managed to do it and got good results. So yeah, that's sort of where it all sort of started to sort of take off.
Yep. And what were your other professions before detailing? Did you have obviously a side gig? Well, detailing was a bit on the side, and then you had Any other work in between?
Yeah, so initially, like, I'm a tool maker by trade.
Oh, yeah.
And then from there, I went into timber flooring. So I was laying timber flooring, sanding and polishing, that sort of thing. I was a supervisor for that for quite a few years, for 13 years. Finally got sort of sick of that trade, pulled out of there and went into being a gym instructor part-time, and working at Coles stacking shelves at night part-time. So those two jobs were sort of mainly, well, one was early morning, one was nighttime. Freed up the day to do things during the day, basically. Daughter at the time was going to private school, so one of the jobs was paying for her to go there. The other job was just, paying bills, basically. So then, the detailing side, that's when I had a bit more free time during the day to sort of detail, which allowed sort of that part-time sort of gig going. Then, you get the, like everyone, you do the part-time gig because you've got you've got two part-time jobs or one part-time job bringing in an actual income to pay for things. And then you've got the detailing on the side where you're getting cash. So the cash side of it was sort of going for all the toys and the going, being a bit sort of lavish with money sort of thing. Because you didn't have to claim for that because you were getting a wage from the other job. So the tax department didn't really have to know about that. Edit that bit out if you want.
No, that's fine. What they don't know, they don't know.
No, that's it. So so that's basically how it sort of started out. Like everyone, it just becomes, you start off doing part-time on the weekends or whatever, get that extra bit of cash, and you've got that cash to spend and sort of do things with. From there, it was on the back of my mind of wanting to do it full time because I was really enjoying it. But you also had that little monster in the back of the head saying, this is a big gamble if you do it. Where's the money going to come from? Are you going to have enough work to do it? So there's always that little thing in the back of my head. But eventually I'd saved enough money. Basically, I had $8,000 sitting in the account. And I wanted to invest it into something. And that's, my daughter was going to school. When she was going to school at the time, one of her friends, her dad was a very good businessman, very knowledgeable. So I got talking to him, became good friends with him over a bit of time. And then I had this money and I went up to him one day and I said, Pete, I've got $8,000. What can I invest in? And his first words out of his mouth was, invest in yourself. And I've gone, okay. And he said, buy this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, read it and see what you think, go from there. So went out that day, the same day, went down the shop, bought the book, went home. I'd be in the gym, meant to be instructing and sitting down and watching over people. And I was reading this book the whole time. Every time I had a chance to sit down, I kept reading this book and going through it. And just learning from that, just some basic stuff about, school and life, basically. And then, then I found out he was actually a business coach.
Yep.
So, and I've been contemplating with business coaches, thinking, is it a good idea, not a good idea? Who do you trust? Who don't you trust? Because there's so much garbage out on social media with people being so-called experts and, they've got no life experience themselves, yet they want to try and teach others how to do it.
Yep. 100%.
So Pete is the real deal. He's been there, he's done that. He's had businesses, good businesses. He's had bad businesses. He's, got a lot of money, lost money, got it back. He knows his stuff. So I thought, well, you know what, this is a good place to start with him. And as I said, I know him quite well. He's a friend as well. So that sort of really sort of put things in place. And the other thing was, obviously I have to pay him to be my business coach. So that was another expense coming out of money I was making. And at the time, my wife's like, well, can we really afford to do that? I said, well, can we afford not to do that? Because if I don't do it, where am I going to be in a few years' time?
You won't have any money.
Yeah, I'll be doing the same shit over and over and over again. So, yeah, for me, it was a very good investment.
Yeah. And that's what I've heard a lot with mentors and coaches and stuff on the pod and even outside of the pod. But yeah, and that's why I thought I'd touch on it today. Like, how do you, obviously you spoke how you found them, but yeah, what benefits have they got? And yeah, how else do they help you along the way?
So a good business coach will guide you. They won't tell you how to do it. So you've got to still put the work in, but they will guide you and encourage which direction you should be going, but they're not going to do the work for you. So it makes you accountable for your own actions. Like we set a vision, a three-year plan, basically. But within that 3-year plan, you're doing little 8-week plans to get to that 3-year plan. So yeah, you're setting yourself little goals. You're setting yourself, if you reach those goals, you're giving yourself a reward for that, reaching that goal at the end of the 8 weeks or whatever.
Yep.
And those goals could be as simple as going out for dinner with your wife or going for a ride or whatever. It doesn't have to be a big shiny object to buy. It can be something little, but it's something you're working towards, and that's your reward for it. But yeah, so we're going through all the different stages, and you have your vision. My vision was initially, so I started out in my garage initially, like most people do. I've never done mobile detailing. It wasn't a path I wanted to go down because of the variations of weather conditions and whatnot. I'm very set in my way of, I like to know what I'm walking into when I'm doing something. So when I started out at home in my garage, that was a little bit sort of hard because I'd be washing the cars out the front initially, and then bring them into the garage and then detail them. So if it was raining outside, then I was a little bit stuck in that situation. Then after about, I think about 9 months to a year, I think I was working out of the garage. I decided I needed to build a workshop out the back. So I was talking to Pete, basically before then I was talking to Pete, and we're going through it and say, okay, if you want to do that, this is what we need to do to achieve that goal. So we managed to do that, save the money, did what we had to do, and drew some money out and whatnot. Put a workshop out the back, that was about what I spent on that, 30K to set that up. So I was build a 100 square metre workshop. And within that workshop, I built a full-on little detail bay, all the lights, hoists, everything in there, air conditioned, climate controlled, the whole lot. And that was just a big step from being in a garage to go into that. I had a pergola out the back, which is still there, obviously, and I'd wash under the pergola, so I was a lot more protected from the weather. And so, yeah, and my workshop set up out the back was still pretty impressive for most detail places out in a factory. Even that's still quite impressive with what I've done there.
Is that what you've got now? Is that where you're at?
No, I'm in a factory now.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, basically that was my first step to sort of go more upper level to what I wanted to do, and to sort of be more on a professional basis rather than just working out of a garage. So
what was the reason for building a garage or a shed at your property rather than just go out and get a fixed location, probably where you are now?
So yeah, back then it was, I wanted to do that. I wanted to get a factory. My business coach said no.
Yep.
Basically, he said you're not making enough money to do that. That's where a business coach is good. A good business coach will direct you and tell you this is what you should or shouldn't do. I'll come up with the idea of, the harebrained idea of, I want a factory. And he goes, okay, sit down, do your figures. So you go through the figures, and he'll look at it, and he'll go, you're not ready to go into a factory. So that's where business coaches are really handy, because a lot of people will just jump into it and have no idea what's going on. So and then within that, he said, look, do it my way, and within 3 years you'll be in a factory. And sure enough, within 3 years, I was within a factory. So
wow,
yeah.
That's pretty cool, because you obviously put a lot of trust into this. What was his name again? Pete. Yeah, you obviously trust Pete a fair bit to go, I'll do that. I'll spend 30K on this shed, do that, and then later on, I'll do that as well. And then, so it's like, you could have said, nah, stuff Pete, you don't know, I'll just come straight out to a shop. So
exactly, yeah.
So,
and that's the thing. Like, I mean, I built the shed. I built it during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it was during that period where, people were losing jobs and everything else, and I was still having work coming in. I was, regular work. It was going well. I was making good money, reasonable money for being at home. I was doing quite well. So it's sort of, having that workshop set up there. I mean, I've still got it set up there now. So I've got my own cars in there and that at the moment. But
I was going to say, it would have paid off in the long term to have a big shed for all your cars that you want.
Well, that, and so I've got the double garage and the shed, and they're all full of my cars. So plus the cars, plus a couple of cars I've got at my workshop as well. So it's it's a bit crazy, but anyway.
No, that's a good story. So how did you get onto Pete again? How do people just? Is there like a website we can find business coaches? Or how did
so
Pete find these people?
Yeah, he's on Facebook. He's called the Cash Mechanic, if you wanted to look that up. So he puts horsepower into your business. Basically, that's his Peter Wrench is his name.
Yep.
And so the sort of the wrench side of it, being on the tools, that's sort of where the Cash Mechanic came from. That sort of name. The actual program, funnily enough, he actually built it off my business.
Yep.
Is the particular program that we're doing. So I was the first one actually. He said, look, I want to start a new program, and I want you to be the guinea pig, basically. Yeah. So that sort of came about so a lot of it's modeled off him and I working together to get to where we are now. So, but I mean, he's got other business models that he does with his coaching businesses. But so the Cash Mechanic is more sort of trades orientated. So and you have to qualify to get in with him as well. It's not just a matter of ringing him up, go, hey Pete, I want you to be my business coach. And he'll just go, well, I'll send you information. Go through it, tick the boxes, whatever. I'll go through it and see if we're a fit or not. If he thinks you're not the right fit, he goes, I can't help you.
Yep.
So
no, that's interesting. So thanks for that.
That's right.
So how long have you been in your current fixed location now?
So I took the factory over nearly a year ago. So it'll be a year ago, the end of October. It took me 3 months to build the place. So I've actually been operating out of it since the start of March. So,
yep. Was it just a vacant sort of warehouse shop?
So it's just there used to be a auto alec that was in here.
Oh, yeah.
And it had a crappy little office area, and just it had like a little rabbit warren as you walked into the front door. Of just all these, like there was an area of say 6 by 7 with 7 doors in it. It was just doors everywhere. It was just tiny, and it was just shit, and that was terrible. So I sort of walked in, and so the factory was the right size I was after. I wanted a decent sized factory to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a bit more unique to what everyone else has got. So I found a factory that's 350 square meters. Rent is good, nicely priced. So that was a bonus. And yeah, my idea of what I wanted to do and what I've achieved is exactly what I wanted. So it's worked out well. Yeah.
Yep. No, it's definitely impressive. So you obviously got a couple of bays there that you can shut off.
Yes. Yep. So I've got 2 detail bays set up, both on automatic roller doors. Blinds come down, so they're climate controlled in there for when we're coating and stuff. I can shut them down overnight and have the climate control on and know that the temperature is going to be the same temp through the night. I'm not going to have any issues with cold weather, that sort of thing. When I'm coating, same thing. It's as I heard Jared's last night. He was talking about, when it's colder, you've got to wait a bit longer for the curing. And I've got the advantage where I don't have to wait. It's all, everything's, I can set to what I want. So that side of it makes it a bit easier. I've got a showroom that I built here. So for me, I wanted something that people would walk in and it'd be an experience for them, not just a service. So they walk in my door. Currently, I've got a Ferrari in the showroom, which is a customer's car. And they sort of lay it up over winter time. They don't really drive it much. So they said, look, yeah, you want to detail it, throw it in the showroom, go for it. So that's what we've done. That'll be going out soon. And I think I'm getting a Suzuki Jimny coming in, a brand new one for sale. So we're going to set up a little thing in here to sell that. So that won't be here for that long, but it'll be something different and cool, mixing things up. Mixing it up, yeah.
Bit of a downgrade from the Ferrari.
Oh, slightly, yeah. But yeah, look, we're going to make it a bit of a fun sort of thing that people can walk in and go, oh, that looks pretty fun. That looks cool,
Yeah.
I've got a little AC Cobra, 3/4 scale AC Cobra set up there for PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
So the guys, lunch break, they can jump on that if they want to have a bit of a play for the lunch break. I wanted to make it so that it's fun for everyone to come here. Customers come in or clients come in, they walk in and they're just like, wow, this is a nice looking, cool place. Got a nice couch there. The guys that work for me, they can come in, same deal. That they enjoy coming to work. They've got something to look forward to. If they want to jump on the PlayStation, I've got a 70-inch TV they can watch during lunch break. It's it's set up for them as well, not just me. So. And
that's how it is. You got to make it good for your own workers as well, and then definitely make them want to come to work. Then that mural you got on the wall, the painting, where did that come from?
It's actually wallpaper.
Oh, yep, the Bugatti, yep.
Yeah, it's actually wallpaper. So that was something my daughter found online from a place in China.
Yep.
So yeah, she showed me, and I've gone, yeah, that looks pretty cool. So we emailed the guys and said, look, this is the size I want. I want to see a proof of it first before I order it, because make sure the quality's right. So they sent me a proof of the sizing. The quality was there, so I was going, yeah, cool, let's buy it. So they sent that out, and then I just had a guy come in and put it up for me, a wallpaper guy, because I've got no idea how to wallpaper. So I just got some guy in to do that for me. So
yeah. And was your business coach with you all way with building and the costing side of, or
budget wise? So it was up to me to sort of work all that out. I did blow my budget. I think
I can imagine
most people do blow their budget. I don't know anyone that hasn't blown a much budget when they've gone into a factory or even a house or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. You always blow your budget. So I did blow it. I expected I was going to go over. I went over probably a bit more than I expected I wanted to, purely because of costs of material went up through COVID. and labour costs. Some of the labour costs I wasn't expecting to be as high as it was due to the amount of work that had to be done, basically. So, but yeah, there were things that I should have probably fine-tuned a little bit more in my budget. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. I came through and got everything done anyway. So I didn't have anything. I had an open day, and I wanted to make sure everything was done for that open day, that I wasn't missing anything, that people would walk in and go, oh, well, that's unfinished, or that's not finished, or, you know. The only things I didn't have up was I put 2 airlines up in each side of the detail bay. I didn't have those hooked up, but no one's going to know that. You know, that was done a week later. That was, you know, not a big deal. So
Yep. Because you're talking hidden costs. I know from last week's pod with Michael, he thought he was all good, and he being the counter, he had his numbers in check, and then he had to throw in a 30K wash bay to not let the water go down the storm drain. So
yeah, well, that's it. It's like I've got had to install the triple interceptor, so that I had some of the plumbing there already because of the previous not the previous guy before that. I don't know what they had in here, but they had a triple interceptor set up for something or other. So it had the plumbing to go into the sewage was sitting there. They ripped out, for some reason, I don't know why, they ripped out the interceptor and filled it in. Don't know why, but anyway. So I've had to, cut my own one in and get that all done, and then just plumbed into there. So for me, I think that budget there was about 13 grand to set up.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad.
Yep.
But, you're talking 13 grand investment there as opposed to 100 grand fine.
Mm.
I think, I know what I'm going for. So
Yeah. Money well spent.
Yeah.
All right. Your business services these days. So what do you got going on daily?
So for me, I don't really do just washes. For me personally, I think it's a lot of time to spend to get money, in the sense of I do pre-sale details, full details, paint corrections, and restorations. So like a full resto on a car, top to bottom, polishing, the whole thing. Ceramic coats, obviously. That's my sort of area that I'm working in. That's my business model. Washing cars. So basically, if you look at, say, to do a ceramic coat, for instance, you get a good margin in profits out of that.
Mm.
I can spend a day doing a ceramic coat, or I could spend a day doing eight car washes and get like a third of the cost of what I would for a ceramic coat. But I'm working harder washing 8 cars, stopping and starting, changing the whole thing, as opposed, and products, costs of products, water, the whole thing to wash a car, as opposed to doing one car.
Mm.
So I sort of more focus on that. I do wash cars from time to time, obviously for clients, but also my car washes are quite expensive because, well, it's what I charge. It's just hours, it takes me an hour to wash a car. So, I'm charging $130. Not many people want to pay that. That's fine. That's sort of, that's where I'm at. If you want me to wash it, that's the time that it takes me to do it, and that's what I charge. I don't sort of go into competition with anyone I'm not going to do a $60 car wash because I'm never going to make money. I'll lose money. It just doesn't make sense. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm in a similar boat at the moment, trying to not say no to them, but try and steer away and focus on the coatings and the corrections and the PPF. So that's sort of, and I had one in yesterday that sort of takes mine, and not a sort of just a quick in and out 2-hour wash and vac. I sort of spend a fair 5 hours on them. So, and for the money, like you said, it's easier just to do a coating and less hard on your body. And day in, day out, I couldn't do it. And that's where we start doing all that, where you grow from, and then you move into what you really want to do and what you're good at as well. So
Exactly.
are you priced? Obviously, that's sort of the other thing I'm working on at the moment, pricing accordingly for that, and sort of pricing up in a way to steer him away from doing that. Is that another thing as well?
Yeah, basically, yes. As I said, because for it to work, you need to be charging quite a bit of money. And like mobile detailing, again, that'd be even harder again, because, like they're traveling from one place to another. Like I know Jared does it quite a lot. Sort of doing a lot of traveling, and you do the job. And as he said last night when I was listening to his one last night, it's easier for him to go to a job where he's doing a few cars for a customer. Obviously, that's the better way to go about it, as opposed to going to one place, do one car, then you got to drive another 30 minutes or whatever, another direction to do another car, then you're over. So there's a lot of wasted time in the car, and where you're not making money, and you're spending money because you're driving to and from places as well. It's costing you money. So that was another reason why I didn't want to go down the mobile path and do that. Also, like I said, with the weather conditions, it's just too unpredictable for that side of it. For me, for other guys, it works for them. That's fine. But for me, I'm very structured. As I want to know what I'm walking into. I don't want any hidden surprises.
Yeah, especially in Melbourne with their weather, as we said.
Yeah.
Right. So, how many employees you got running there at the moment?
So I've got one guy at the moment. I had two. I've cut one back. Purely because, basically, I was on the tools. Obviously, when I started out on my own, I was on the tools 100% of the time. That takes a lot of focus off trying to generate more work. So then I put a guy on and things picked up. So then I put another guy on, and again, you got all the other hidden costs with employing people as well. So I had them on, and then I was hitting my monthly targets, which was fine, but I was probably only about 20% on the tools while they were both here, which freed up a lot of time for me to do other things, which was great. But my profits were sort of down a little bit, obviously, because I'm paying for another guy to work. So the other guy ended up going away on holidays for a couple of weeks, and we actually ended up having a bit of a quiet period while he was away. And then it picked up while he was away for the first week it was a bit quiet, then it started to pick up a little bit, and we were still managing to do the work. I was on the tools a little bit more. Currently I'm doing about probably 50% on the tools, so it still allows plenty of time for me to do other things I need to do, and we're doing just as much turnover now with the two of us as I was with the three of us being here, and I'm not losing I'm not losing as much money. I'm making more money. So just for me being on the tools, sort of half the time is what I would be. So it sort of made more sense. I mean, business is all about trial and error. It was great having two guys here because it freed up pretty much my whole day to do other business stuff. But yeah, it's sort of from a growth point of view, it kind of looks good, but in retrospect, it's not the best option. So to cut back that one person and still be able to do the same amount of work with me being on the tools a little bit more is a much better, smarter option.
Yep. And you talk about your your targets each month. Have you obviously got your certain amount? Does it go up or does it go down each month, or how does all that sort of work?
No, so I've got, as far as team goes, so my team is actually quite big. So I've got, everyone thinks team is just who works for you in the workplace, but it's actually my business coach, bookkeepers, accountants, financial advisors, marketing, sales. That's all part of my team. I've got a heap of people in different areas that deal with all that sort of stuff. So bookkeepers, I've got basically, it's one company, but they have 3 different people that look after me, and they're all specialised in their own little field. So I've got one that looks after my KPIs each week. So they keep track of my budgets and targets, how much I'm spending, how much I'm making each week. Another one that keeps on track of taking care of wages. So they specialise in that sort of side of things. You've got probably, as soon as you start employing people, it's a whole new kettle of fish again. You've got work cover you've got to pay for. You've got super that comes out of your money. It doesn't come out of anyone else. It comes out of your money.
Yep.
There's so many other things that you've got to take into account. OH&S and just, people think it's, I'll just put someone on and, it's easy, but it's another ball game again. Then, like marketing, I'm sort of more focusing on marketing myself at the moment. I try to do a lot of like videos and that sort of thing to get my face out there, because people like to see who's behind the business. I think that generally that helps get work as well, from what I've seen. Photos and those sort of things. I've got my daughter, she takes care of that. So she comes in and does a lot of the photos and the social media side of it. I just sort of leave that up to her. I'll do a couple of little posts here and there, but she does most of the social media side of it for me. Being young, she knows what she's doing. I'm just sort of, I'll just post something up and go, okay, I think that's right. And she'll look at it, she goes, that's crap, Dad. Like, what are you doing? So, okay. Well, here you go. You sort it out. So she does all that. So there's a big team sort of that people don't sort of realise, behind the scenes. They just think, your team is only who's working there, but it's not. So
no, that's a good way of putting it, because I think we all, as a business owner, you sort of have to wear a lot of hats these days with marketing, sales, doing the work, and then
you've just got to know. And this is the thing with my business coach. He's big on, what are you good at? You do that. What else do you need done? And employ someone that is good at that, because they're going to do it a lot better than what you'll ever do it. At half the effort, half the time, half of, like I could spend hours and hours going through trying to do my KPI report. They spend like 2 minutes and I go bang, 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 send it to me and I can read it. And it's like it's there in front of me and going, okay, this is this and this. They educate you on how to read the KPI and what it's all about. I don't know if anyone knows what KPI means, but it's key performance indicator. Yep. Some people might not know. I don't know. Yep. But that just helps give you a guide as to how the business is traveling. Budgets, I've got the bookkeeper. We put budgets in place, so I know each month my budget's the same every month. So I know my monthly target that I need to hit. If I exceed that, then fantastic. If I'm a bit under, then I know I'm missing something somewhere. I need to pick it up. So it just helps the business run smoother, and you feel more at ease knowing where you're at, as opposed to working day to day and thinking, what bill have I got to pay, or how am I going to pay that, or what am I going to do?
Yeah, no, very nice. It's a lot of gold here for anyone starting out or running a small business already. It's a lot of good advice there. So thanks, Steve. Sure. What would be your challenges day in, day out? Do you have too many?
Everyone has challenges, I suppose. It is, this month my challenge is probably just trying to make my monthly target this month. I'm probably just under at the moment, which is fine, but that's purely because I'm getting a lot of wash, wax and interior details this month for whatever reason. I don't know. I've just been bombarded with wash, wax, and interior details. So that's probably my base sort of service that I do.
Yep.
Well, actually, my base service would be just an interior, full interior detail. And then my next one is the wash, wax, and interior. So I'm doing a lot of that at the moment this month. I think everyone's just getting ready for spring, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
Few ceramic coats. I've currently got a VK Mini in here at the moment, which is a tribute car.
Yep.
I've got that for however long I need it, probably a couple of weeks, I guess. I'll have that here for going through that one, a top to bottom detail. It's like it's been fully rebuilt, restored, repainted, but it just needs refining. Everything just needs, and then we're going to ceramic coat it. So I'll spend quite a few number of hours on that one. A couple of ceramic coats next week to do. So generally, I hit targets or exceed my targets, no problem. This month, it's just a lot of wash waxes this month, and but that's fine.
And does that all equal into end of year total or into financial year total you're aiming to achieve?
Oh yeah,
It all links back to that. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, my yearly business is I count on only say 46 weeks of the year, not 52.
Yep.
So I mean, it actually works out a bit less because you're taking out. So I work 6 days a week, so every Sunday off, and then you've got public holidays and all those sort of Christmas and those sort of things that come in. So you sort of sit around sort of 45, 40 or 40, even 44 weeks for the year of what you want to earn and the target you need to make for that period. So you've still got that leeway of time of weeks where you could put more work in if you want, but yeah.
No, nice. All right. So what are you what products and what coatings are you using down there?
So again, you won't be surprised, Angel Wax.
Yeah.
So Dan at Detail Central is the man to go to for all that sort of stuff. I started off with, well, like everyone, I guess, you sort of go to Super Cheap or whatever, and you buy the Maguires, and you think you're buying the right shit, and you go home and you polish your car, and it looks great, and then it rains and it all falls out because it's all full of fillers and everything. You go, well, where do all those scratches come from again? It's like, oh shit, got to do it again. So then when I spoke to Dan, and he said, look, start using this stuff, and like you're going to see a massive difference. So okay, so I got into the Angel Wax products. I've been using them from day one since I started the full proper detailing, and I suck with it because I know the product. I'm so used to using it. I haven't really tried any other products. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other good products out there to use, and I do watch a lot of YouTube videos on, to educate myself as well. If people think you can't learn from YouTube, well, certainly can. There's a lot of good information out there if you look in the right place. But so I was just sort of stuck with that. I use Nanoskin as well. He has Nanoskin products, so there are a lot of good for inside cleaning products. I'll use that. What else? So so Angel Wax and a bit of Kamikaze. They're about the main ones I use. I don't really go out of that structure.
Yep. I think I mentioned on my last one that Dan, he gets a lot of business from you boys down there.
Yeah, well, look, is it the good thing with Dan is, and what I've found with this industry is, I know Glenn quite well as well. I used to send, well, I still do occasionally send work his way. If I'm a bit busy, I'll still send work his way. But I know he's quite busy as well. So he sort of says, oh, look, I can't do it either. So, but it's sort of, when he was mobile back in the earlier days, I was talking to Jared, and Jared said, oh, look, Glyn does pretty good work as well if you need to sort of send work that way. So cool, no worries. I'd send, quite a number of times, send a bit of work to Glyn, and then I hadn't actually met the guy, but I'd messaged him over Facebook and Messenger and spoke to him and whatnot. And then, when I built my workshop at home, he came down, had a look, and we had a good chat. And it was something he wanted to look at doing as well, building, getting into a workshop, and which he has now, which is literally just around the corner from DC. Actually, he's lucky. He's like literally a stone's throw away from the place. I'm about half an hour away. He's a good bloke, and we got on well. And between him, Jared, we'll talk, and I'll drop into Glyn every now and then when I go past DC. I'll have a quick chat with him and whatnot. The culture with us is quite good. We'll sort of chat, we'll discuss things sometimes, try and help each other out a little bit. But I think the industry does lack people wanting to help others in learning. For some reason, a lot of detailers think that, well, whether it's ego or whatever it is, I don't know, but they think, if they can do something and they think they're better than everyone else, and they don't want to show someone else how they've done it. Like, why? There's that much work out there. What's it matter?
It's like a big secret.
Yeah. Why keep it a secret? Why not help and educate others? And that's where Dan's really good. Like, you can go to Dan and say, look, I'm having an issue with this, and he'll go, okay, try this or do this, or how about this, and he'll spend time and go through it, and it's all free. Like, he doesn't charge you anything. He just sit there. I can sit there for half an hour and chat with him, and you get a lot of information out of the guy, and he's happy to share. He'll give his right arm to you, basically, to help you out. And I think that's why he gets a lot of people going there, because he's that sort of person. He really wants to help others achieve and get, do well.
And that definitely helps. He's probably there to help you and not just try and push products to you and push it down that way. So that's really good. So I might have to have a chat to Dan. He's very popular at the moment.
Yeah.
The last few episodes, everyone's getting a lot of work off him. And have you looked into, do you do PPF?
Not at the moment.
No.
It's something I've thought about doing. I know I've spoken to Jared about it, and I know the issues that he faced with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something, having a shop now, it's something that I would like to maybe look at doing a little bit of. How successful it'll be, I don't know yet, obviously, because I've never done it. I might probably just do it on one of my cars first, see how it turns out. A couple of cars with some wrap on. It's something I am considering looking at.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, I must say, and it's there is an art to it, for sure. So
look, I've got a guy that we use to do a lot of the PPF for us over in Mornington, and his work's really, really good. And he'd be willing to teach me. There's no issue with that. So I'd go over and spend time there. I know him. He's actually with a business group as well, with a business coach. Yep. I actually got him onto feet as well. But yeah, he's really good at what he does. And if anyone asks for PPF, I just go, mate, go see this guy. I mean, some people think PPF's is the be all and end all, and it's going to look like perfect. So look, PPF will never ever look perfect. Like, what Tim does is very good at what he does, and it looks exceptional, but it's still it's got its imperfections, which it's PPF, but you got to expect that. So some people think they're not going to have any imperfections. They think it's just going to be like a ceramic coat, which it's not. But yeah, as long as they're aware of that, but like he does PPF and has basically no dust under the coating, under the wrap. You might find a couple of little stretch marks here and there, but that's about it. He does a really, really good job.
Yep.
Good job.
Yeah, nice. Yep. Yeah, I'm still learning myself, and I think we always probably any PPF installer would be learning each day still, no matter how long
Exactly.
they've been doing like detailing. So
Yeah.
yeah. Um, you probably touched on it a bit about what could we improve in our industry, you reckon, at the moment?
I think, it's industry. I think it just really needs people to be willing to teach others.
Yep.
That would be my biggest thing is don't hide it, just help.
Mm.
Like I'll help anyone as much as I can with the knowledge that I've got. There's a couple of guys that do contact me regular and want advice on things, and happy to share my experience and give them, what I think, well, what works for me. It's not necessarily going to work for you, but this is what I did, and this is how I overcome that particular issue for me. Give it a try, and 9 times out of 10 it works. It's worked for them, and they've rung me up. They've gone, mate, that worked a treat. Well, there you go. Like it's and it's just a simple thing. Like some paints, as you know, every car's paint reacts differently, and you don't know what the person's put on that paint beforehand, and you go to buff it, and it just peels up, or it just balls up, or it just can't rub the compound off because it's just stuck to it, or whatever the case may be. And and they're trying to do a ceramic coat, and they've got this residue that's just stuck there that won't come off. They go, I just cannot remove this residue. How the hell do I get? No, even with a IPA wipe or whatever, they just cannot get this stuff off. I've gone, yeah, I've had that happen to me. I said, look, I've just grabbed some Angel Wax Perfect polish, gone over it, and it's just come off. And they've just gone, okay, and they've tried it and gone, shit, it actually works. I said, there you go. Like, it's whether it's just the little bit of polish in there that helps pull it off, I don't know. And then you obviously got to powerful wipe down to coat. But yeah, it's just little things that you think something might work and something doesn't work or doesn't go that way, and change things around or whatever, for whatever reason. It's just don't know why it reacts that way, but it does.
No, interesting.
Hopefully the compressor's not too noisy.
No, I can't. No, that's good.
That's all right.
So, all right, we'll get into our. I've got 6-stage questions now.
Yep.
Not 5. I've threw an extra one in there. Upgraded, which everyone would have heard from last week. I think you've already explained it. Your first ever detailing job was?
Yeah, it was a Jeep SRT.
Oh yeah.
So it was a pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Car, a dark grey Jeep SRT, and they're still my clients. They've now got Range Rover Sport, Chevy Silverado, other cars and toys and stuff. So yeah, they're still my clients, which is great. So yeah, I mean, a lot of my work is based off new work. Obviously, I don't do a lot of like Jared that has regular customers, clients that he's constantly going back to washing. Mine's more the newer clients. A lot of the time, you buy a new car, they want a ceramic coat, etc. Or people selling their cars, do a lot of pre-sales. But they end up being a client long term, not on a weekly, monthly basis, but on a maybe once a year or twice a year basis sort of thing. So they do come back. They like the quality of work. So that's sort of.
Yep. How are you going with the new cars that are coming through? What's the paint on them like? Is it getting worse? Like not so much finish or how it's left the dealership these days?
Yeah. Look, I had a brand new SQ8 come in, and I was actually surprised that I don't know what happened, but there was like pigtail marks in the rear quarter. How the hell that? I don't know, but obviously there's something's happened there, and they've tried to buff it with a rotary buffer or whatever. And there's little pigtails there. I'm like, it's a bit odd, but yeah, I mean that's a $230,000 car, and there was a few scratches on the bonnet on there as well, which we had to get out. It's just sort of really, really weird.
Yeah, no, I hear different stories of the the quality of the car, the new cars now, like obviously the dealers are just kicking them out the door and not really doing too much to them. Obviously they're getting paid and sending it. So
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's more the fact that because there's such a long wait on cars at the moment, people are just wanting the car, and the dealers are just like, they don't really care. They've ordered the car, they've paid for it months ago or whatever. Once it gets here, it's like, well, here's your car. I want to take it now. Bang, it's gone. There's no. I don't think they really do much of a pre-sale delivery these days. Quick wash and see you later.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it appears to be. So,
which in a sense is actually kind of good in some respect, because they can do more damage with what they do anyway half the time when they're trying to do stuff. I had a brand new Land Rover Discovery that they picked up, and I said, look, I can't get it into ceramic coat for 2 weeks. I said, just drive it. Do not wash it. Do not do anything with it. Just drive it.
yep.
Don't touch it. So there, it came in. It was pretty dirty. So we, did a snow foam and decontamination and everything else, and it was in reasonable condition because it hadn't been touched basically. So yeah, we sort of just obviously fine tuned the paint and coated it. So
Yep. Yeah, I've done the same. Yeah, when you can't get them in, said, yeah, you can still drive it, but yeah, just try avoid washing it, and otherwise you'll just do more damage in between. So
exactly, and it just creates more work for yourself. So
yeah, they want it coated as soon as possible, but can't always get you in that quick. So that always helps.
Yep.
What's your favourite polisher? What are you been using?
For me, I've got the Flex DA Force Rotation, the 5-inch. Is it 5 or 5 1/4 inch, whatever they are?
Yep.
That's my favourite tool. I just love the way it works. It's little vibration. It cuts through anything. It doesn't stall on you. It just does what it has to do and get the job done. So, I sort of went from the cheap $99 super cheap buffer, which I still own. I still have. It actually blew up on me how long ago? About 2 months ago. It blew up on me. I still use it, but not for polishing. I actually use it. I'll put a brush head on it, so I use it for agitating the carpet.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So yeah, instead of having it on a drill, I just use that. So you can use one hand and you can just go over the carpet, agitate the carpet, lift the dirt out, and then vacuum it. Works brilliant for that. But I don't use it for buffing cars. After 6 hours, you get off and your arms are vibrating, your hands are tingling, and whatever else. So the Flex DA Force Rotation polishers I've got 3 of those. So we use those, and that'd be probably my favourite.
Yeah. Have you got one of the little Flex
PX80? Yeah.
Yeah, the 80 ones. Yeah.
Yep, got that. Now I've got a battery 6-inch or 5-inch battery one as well. Flex, just a normal DA. That's great for using as a polisher.
Yep.
You can run around the car really quick with that. Polish, and use a polishing pad on there. Works really well. You can use it as a cutting as well, which I obviously do from time to time, but it's good for using it as a polisher. Yeah.
Very nice. Do Angel Wax they got their line of pads as well, don't they?
They were bringing them out. I've tested some pads out that they were bringing out. They're not actually in Australia at the moment, but I think they're on their way, I believe. So Dan had some that he had sent over, got me to try some out. They work well. I liked a couple of them that he had there. But we're still waiting for those to come back.
Yep. All right. You've probably just talked about it. Your favourite detailing tool or product?
Detailing tool or product?
Yep.
So this is going to be a bit out of the ordinary. My favourite product would probably be Urable or Urable, which is a detailing app. And Jared actually got me onto that one. I believe Glenn uses it as well. That is a great business tool for bookings, keeping track of money coming in, because you book the job in, you put all the details in, you can set up your standard products or services and with the prices, and it automatically goes on there. You can adjust the price accordingly if you need to. It sends out a message to the customer that it's been booked in and the day that it's booked. You can also have it to set a reminder up 1 day or 2 days beforehand. I have mine set at 2 days beforehand as a reminder that they've got a booking coming up, just like you book your doctor's appointment and then they get a reminder sent out. So it's really good for that, because it keeps people, basically kind of eliminates them having an excuse for forgetting that they've got an appointment if it's 2 weeks down the track, because they've got a reminder saying, hey, you've got an appointment in 2 days' time. So that sort of eliminates that no-show a lot more.
Yep.
Yep.
No, that's interesting, because Urable, the owner of that, was on Rennie Doyle's podcast the other week. So I listened to it and I thought, it's just detail software, because there's another one out there as well. But to me, I thought they were American-based, and I know they are branching out, and Urable did say that they were sort of trying to head this way.
It is an American-based product still. So a lot of it is sort of based around the American market, but it is also fairly adaptable for Australia at the moment as well. So, yeah.
Do clients go on there and book, or you book them in separately and then send all the details through and the reminders in that way?
So you book them in. Well, the way I work it, I'm not sure if you can have it that way. Jared would probably know more about that than me, actually. He's sort of more onto that. But someone will ring up, and while they're on the phone, or they'll come into the shop, and I'll just jump on the computer, put the details in. So it's good because it gives you all the information you need. So you get their name, you get their phone number, you get their email, all the crucial information that you need for the future sort of reference.
Yep.
And then you fill in all the details. You fill in what car it is. It tells you everything. And you just fill it all in and put the times in and a whole lot. So, and it's very simple. The only critique I'd have with the program, and hopefully they will try and do something with that, is it's not compatible with Xero. So it's compatible. Yeah, it's compatible like Xero for your accounting software. So invoices. It's compatible with QuickBooks, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But not Xero. So yeah, if it was compatible, then basically it makes it much easier to do an invoice, because at the moment I will do the booking and everything with Urable, and then once they've done that and they're paid, then I'll do an invoice on Xero, which then is set up for the my accountants and bookkeepers and that, because they work with Xero. So that just makes it simple for them. So I kind of have to, in a sense, double handle that side of it a little bit, but like it takes 5 seconds to go into Xero and type out an invoice anyway. It's like no big deal. But that'd be about my only critique with the program.
Did you just sign up online, or did have someone in Australia to talk about it with?
Just sign up online. Yeah. So they've got different levels. I'm on the pro level. I think it's 140 a month, around there. I think it is to have it. Pretty sure it's 140 a month. I was on the other one, which is about $70 a month, but it doesn't give you as much detail for services and stuff. So I'll end up just going the full pro. And yeah, that's, like I said, it's simple. It's good. My daughter learnt a lot about it, so she sort of took control of that and sort of taught me a bit. So she went through all the tutorials, because they're pretty good with their tutorials. They've got a lot of information out there to learn how to use the program and get the maximum benefit out of it. So it's good.
Are you loving the program? Is it a good benefit day in, day out for you?
Yeah,
compared to
for
what
me
you...
it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Compared to beforehand, where I just had basically a diary, and I would, book a job in and be in my diary, and I'd have the price there. But this program is a quick reference to tell you how much you're getting for the month, basically. So every job that books in for that month, it adds on to the total of the month. So I can go in there now. 2 seconds later, I know exactly where my target is for the month, and what I've got there, what I'm going to earn for that month. It's good like that. So whereas before in my diary, I would have to add it all up, day to day, and then work out, where am I at and what am I at? This does it automatically. So it's a quick reference to quickly go in there and go, bang, oh yeah, that's where it's at. Cool. I need to make more money here. I need to try and do this or whatever to get my target.
Yep.
So it is a good reference.
Is it desktop based, or can it be on an app as well?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got it on my phone. So I could be out, which many a time I have been out at a car meet or whatever. And someone's going, can you detail my car? When can I book it in? I can get on my phone and go, bang, yeah, I've got this available. Okay, cool. So you can, be out and about and do the same thing and book it in. It's not a problem. So, yeah.
Very cool. But yeah, if anyone is interested in that, check out the Rennie Door podcast. It was only on the other week. I'm 100%. And that was a couple episodes ago. So, yeah.
The other good thing with it too is it breaks it down. So just say a job carries over to the next day. So just say you're doing a ceramic coat. Like you can do a ceramic coat in the one day, but when I book it in, I'll book a ceramic coat in, say 8:30 in the morning, and it can be picked up the next day at 2:00 onwards. So what the program actually does is, just say for instance, the ceramic coat's $2,000. So it'll go, all right, so $1,000 for say Monday, $1,000 for Tuesday. It's not just all in the one day. It breaks up, and if that went over 3 days, then it'll break it down again over a 3-day period. So each day that amount of money for that particular job for each day. So it's good like that. It actually breaks everything down a lot more.
Income per day.
Yeah.
Nice. And is that most coating jobs you'll have overnight to cure?
Every coating job I do, I'll keep overnight.
Yep.
So I don't let them go the same day. I just, like I said, I like to have them overnight, and just in that climate control, so I know that it's what it is. It's all controlled.
Angel wax don't need curing lamps or anything in between?
No, you can use them. You don't have to. You can use them. I don't have one myself at the moment. I probably will get one, but look, most people are happy just to wait the next day anyway. So it's not that big a deal. Obviously the curing lamps are better because it bakes from the inside out. So it's sort of curing the inside of the coating, making it hard, and then coming out. So it's a lot quicker. But yeah, look, I just say, look, they pick it up, don't wash it for the first 7 days, all good. Like it can get wet, whatever, that's fine, but just don't physically wash it for the first 7 days.
Yep, 100%. Same as how I roll as well, so it's good. All right, biggest tip for any detailer starting out?
Get a business coach. Really, or find someone that's able to help and guide you in the right direction so you don't make stupid mistakes. You're always going to make mistakes along the way. That's inevitable, but reduce those mistakes as much as possible and get quality advice. That's the key to any business, is not just jump in willy-nilly thinking, oh, look, I know how to detail a car, so now I know how to run a business. That's totally different. Two different areas, two different mindsets, two different areas. It's just different. I see it. A few people have done it and they've jumped into it and think, I've quit my job. I'm just bought a factory. I'm going to detail cars for a living, and they're struggling. They're like, and have a business model. Know what you want, have that business model set from the start, and the business coach will help determine that. So he'll ask you, what do you want to do? What are you after? So you got to sit down and really think about what sort of detailing business do you want. Don't try and copy someone else, because it's never going to work. You can copy their ideas and what they've got and this and that, but you're not going to be able to mimic everything they do, because they run the business different. So that's, like, I know it's probably a bit long-winded and boring, this session, but talking about the boring side of business, but that's the part that people need to sort of really understand.
It's the real side of it, and we can all make cars shiny, but are you really that successful and making $1 at the same time? Exactly. Probably the reason why you want to do it. So
and the other thing is, someone that is planning on starting a full-time business and they've been detailing on the weekends, don't have that mindset that all the cash is yours, because it's not. The tax department want their money, and they're going to catch up with you one day.
Yeah.
If you're not doing the right thing, they're going to catch up. So that's the biggest mindset that a lot of people sort of run into, I think, is they've gone from part-time work or full-time work to part-time weekend detailing, to going, well, I'm going to detail because I'm making good money on the weekend. I make a couple of grand on the weekend detailing cars, so I want to do that during the week. But then they're still got that mindset of, that's all my money, I'm spending all that money. They're paying bills and everything, but then when it comes to tax time, how have you paid for all those bills when you're not claiming income?
Yep.
How have you done this, or how are you paying for that, or what do you? So and that's where business coach comes in handy too. He really, makes you accountable for what you need to do, and do it right. Otherwise, you will get caught.
Yep. Can't say I got caught, but back in the day, when I was running, I was never good with books and numbers, so it didn't really work for me. But then once I got into it, now my wife works in a bank, and she knows numbers and does all our books, so it helps massively. And now we're sort of ramping up from that sort of side gig stage, and then preparing for when we do take the leap and go full time. It's sort of your numbers are up where they should be, and your hourly rate is where it should be, and no surprises when you go to full time and people go, oh wow, now you're charging triple or double compared to
well, that's it. And also the fact that, like, if you're not running a relatively honest business, when it comes to wanting a loan or buying something, it just makes it so much harder, because the banks are going to go, well, mate, you want to buy a $50,000, $60,000 car, how are you going to pay for it? Where's your income? What's going on? You may have earned a couple $100,000 a year or whatever cash, or $200,000 cash, but you can't go to a bank and go, well, look, I've just earned all this money. Where's the proof?
Yep.
You need to be sensible about it, and sort of, because there's going to be a time when you want to get a loan or do something.
Yep.
So you just got to be a bit smarter about it.
Yeah. Cash is good, but it can't.
Cash is great.
You got to show something. You got to put something through the books.
Exactly. Cash is great. And I don't get as much cash now as what I used to. When I was at home, I used to get heaps.
Yep.
When I was working from home. Not so much now. I've got the FPOS machine here and that sort of stuff. And being a more of a professional shop, the cash sort of has dropped off a little bit. I still get a bit, but even that, I'll still put cash in the bank even.
Yep.
Because even doing that will still make the tax department and that think, well, he's being honest, because even though he's got cash, he's physically still going to put some in the bank anyway. So whether I keep a bit on the side doesn't really matter. But it just makes it look a bit more honest and professional.
Yeah,
and much better for your business, really.
Yeah,
like my business coach, we're big on get the cash, keep the cash, grow the cash.
Mm.
And that's what I did. I mean, I've gone from a $30,000 investment at home to this factory, which I won't tell you how much I put into this place at the
You're
moment,
right.
but quite a substantial amount, put it that way.
Yep.
So, and if I hadn't have done that through listening to having the right advice, then I wouldn't be where I am now.
Yep. I think Pete's number might be running hot after this episode. I think everyone
could be.
Well,
But,
it's probably opened up a lot. It's opened my eyes up because I hear the word coach and stuff, and even the mental side of things. But it's interesting. And that's why we talked about it offline, and I always wanted to find out more about it myself. So, and I'm sure everyone else does too.
Yeah. And like I said, I built this on the vision that I wanted, with the help with Pete, obviously, over the period of time. And my next 3-year vision is, sort of on track for where I want to go. But for me, like I said, I built a showroom, which I don't think there's any other detailing place in Australia. I could be wrong. I don't know, obviously, but that has a showroom like I have. And I'm not trying to brag or anything like that, but like I said, for me, it was my vision that I wanted people to walk in and have an experience here, not just a transaction.
Yep.
Because a lot of places, it's just a transaction. This is actually something that people walk in and go, wow, this is a cool place. It looks good. People, I can invite car clubs down and we can hang out. They can sit down. We can talk about detailing because there's so much crap out on the social media regarding how to detail my car. When people get on a car group page, as Jared's mentioned yesterday, there's so much crap out there. Like I can invite car clubs down, we can sit down, we can talk, discuss ceramic coats, the benefits and whatever else over a coffee. I've got a coffee machine here. I can make coffee for people, like freshly ground coffee. I love my coffee, so I've got a nice coffee machine here to do that. Then I can usually I'll say, okay, let's grab one of your cars and we'll wash it. I'll go through the process of how to wash a car properly. And it's not, it kind of is in a sense to get more business, but at the same time it's to educate people, on how to wash a car. I had a guy, I had the Mustang Club come down about a month ago now, and we're going through ceramic coats, discussing ceramic coats, the benefits, and how we do it, and et cetera. Then I washed one of their cars, and this guy said, "Oh, you can wash my car." And his car was already pretty clean as it was, and then I found out he was a detailer, but for 20 years or something, he was a detailer. So I'm like, okay, no worries. So I started washing his car and doing the wheels and that. And at the end of it, he goes, "Wow," he goes, "I've just learn't so much from that." He was amazed at how much he actually learnt from me washing the car, the processes that we do and what we do and so forth. He's like, "Wow," he goes, "You just opened my eyes up even more. I couldn't believe, He goes, "The car looks shinier now, than he details it."
Yeah.
It was just with the product, and it's a simple product. It was literally, I just did a wash and wax.
Yep.
I used a product called Nanoskin Supercharger, which is a rinse wax with a ceramic infusion in it. And it lasts. Well, I put it on my car, one of my cars, my beat up Caddy, and I get up to 6 months out of it just from that spray. I mean, the car's garaged at night, so obviously it sort of gets protected at night, but I'll get up to 6 months out. It works really well. So, and it's literally such an easy product to use.
Yeah.
Spray on, rinse off, dry, done. And it beads like a ceramic coat.
That's what you want, yeah.
And shines like a ceramic coat pretty much nearly. So it's really good product. It's
probably a good tip in there for if you are building a studio or factory or shop. Make it multi-purpose, sort of like have a showroom or an area where you can bring in people and open nights and stuff like that for clubs and stuff to help show what you can do, and then it's good promotion for your business as well, and to look apart.
Definitely is. And like I said, I don't know if there are many other shops in Australia like that or not. I haven't seen any. But again, like I don't go looking every 5 minutes to see. But like this showroom here is, was it? I think it's 7.5 meters by 9.5 meters.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a decent sized sort of showroom.
Yep.
There's a little kitchenette in there and some products on display and so forth. So, but it's just neat, clean, tidy. It's all colour matched to my identity branding. Yeah. So like the carpet I got in here, carpet tiles, I found online and I like the colour and because it matched my identity. And I sort of ordered it and then found out that luckily I ordered it early because they had none in stock. They had to make a special run for me and it's from Italy.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh shit, okay. So I had to wait a month for that to come. Like I said, this place took 3 months to build, so that sort of worked out well. Everything worked out pretty much perfect to the day to get ready for the open day. So it was good.
Is it easy to get the cars in and out, or is it just the photos you see online? It looks.
Yeah, so I've got a big bifold door set up where the we can sort of see that where it says pickup bay, your reflection in our perfection. That's a big bifold door there, so that all opens up.
Yep.
So it takes a little bit of a shuffle to sort of turn the car a few times to get in and out of there, but it's not that. Like it takes 5 minutes to get a car in. It's not that big a deal. Especially when the cars are sort of staying here long term, it doesn't really matter.
No.
But yeah, again, like stuff like that, I end up getting secondhand. They're brand new, but secondhand, because they went to a job site. Those bifold doors, they went to a job site which were wrong for whatever reason. I don't know if it's what size or whatever it was. So they were perfect size for what I wanted. So I managed to get them for like $4,000. I inquired through Stegbar and they were like $13,000. Same size door. So like, you know what? At least I saved something. Yeah. So I mean, I had to get glass fitted. That was another $1,000 to get some glass fitted in them because it didn't have glass. But still a hell of a lot cheaper than what I was quoted. So
it looks good.
Yeah.
Very good. Very impressive. Just probably to finish on your interests outside of detailing, what do you get up to on your time away?
So yeah, I enjoy a bit of mountain bike riding now, which is something my business coach got me into. I was getting a bit frustrated over COVID with all the stuff that was going on with, all the crap that was going on. I was just doing my head in and I needed an outlet. So I do like motor racing a bit. So I've got one of my cars is an Audi S3, which is tuned. So that's a quick little car. 0 to 100 is 3.7 seconds. So I like to take that around Sandown. That COVID hit, so that sort of put a stop to that. I was supposed to go for a track day the day we went into lockdown. The first lockdown, the very first lockdown. There was a track day event on the Friday. I booked it, and they were talking about the lockdowns, and I'm just like, don't you dare. And then freaking that midnight that day was the lockdown, and I've just gone, that pissed me off. So, then it got rescheduled to the August, and then we got out of lockdown, and we were just about to do the track day, went into lockdown again.
Another one.
So I lost that track day, and that was a long sort of stint of lockdown there. So I was getting really angry and frustrated because I just couldn't do what I wanted to do. And I love driving around the racetrack and having some fun. So Pete sort of introduced me to e-mountain bikes.
Yep.
Said I'll come out and have a ride, clear your head, see what you reckon. So okay. So I went out for a ride and borrowed a bike from the bike shop and came back. Actually, funny thing was I'm 51 now. So I was 50 when I jumped on the e-bike for the first time in how many years. So it was a bit of an experience up at Red Hill, going through the hills there. It's quite hilly, quite track, a lot of hard tracks up there. So I was going down the first track and came into the first corner. I'm used to dirt bikes, so I'm sort of leaning over the front handlebars, washed out on me, crashed. I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. So they've all, taken off, and then I've jumped on the bike again. I've gone to ride, and I'm like, something's missing. Couldn't work out what was missing. Hang on, I've got no fucking back brake. Broke the lever. I'm like, oh, shit. So I caught up to them, and I said, they've got broke the brake lever. And they've gone, you can't keep coming where we're going then. Like, the tracks we go down, you need your brakes. I'm like, no, I'll be right. They go, no, you need your brakes. I'm like, okay. So I just rode around sort of the area I was in, nice and easy for a little bit while they were off riding, and then met them back at the car park and whatnot. But then, pretty much I basically followed one of the guys back to his place where he's sells the bikes, and he had one there, so I bought one straight away, which was, quite a little expensive investment.
They're pretty cool, though. I've rode a mate's bike. They're a bit weird, but they'd be good fun.
Yeah, look, this thing was 10K.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's like it was a good bike. It's got a lot of good options on it. So I was like, look, let's just do it. And then so I got into basically what sold me on it was we were riding up the first bit of a track, and there was guys on normal mountain bikes riding up there, and we just cruised past them. Like they were sort of standing still type thing. And I'm going, I like this. this is good. Going past these guys like that, well, this is cool. So that's sort of what sold me pretty much straight away, really. And then, so I rode that for 7 months, about 7 months or so. And then I ended up buying a normal mountain bike as well. So I spent another little fortune on that one. So now I've got the two. So I can actually, if I had bought a normal one initially, there's no way I'd be riding now because I would have given up. Like at the age of 50, getting out on a mountain bike for the first time, going up hills like we were going up, forget it. I just would not do it. I would have been out of breath, killing myself, going, this is just stupid. But having the e-bike first and then going back down to that bike, because I know I can build my fitness up to get better on the e-bike now as well. Yep. So, and it's good fun. So they're probably my two main what my main things was the motor racing and that. Spending time with the family, obviously. Going out for dinners and things like that when we can, when we book them in, schedule it into our diaries. But pretty much.
Very nice.
My outside interests and hanging out with positive people.
Yep. Yeah, there's nothing better than there's enough negativity online these days. So if you can hang out with the positive people,
look, I don't watch the news, so I don't even know what's going on in the world.
Same.
99% of the time. Like my wife, when there was floods in Sydney a few months back, whatever it was, my wife said, have you called your sister? Gone, no, why? She goes, well, all the floods in Sydney. I said, what floods? I had no idea. I said, I don't watch the news. How do I know? She goes, it's plenty floods up. And I'm like, is there? Like, okay. So I just had no clue because I just don't listen to it. Yeah. And that helped clear my head as well. So it's sort of, just put myself in the right headspace, focus on the right things I need to focus on, which is the business, and then just keep moving forward. And they're only little steps, but it's always better to go little steps forward than going backwards.
Come back. And you can't believe half the stuff on the news these days anyway.
No, exactly.
So I listen to an app every morning, but that's as far as it goes for about 5-7 minutes, and that's my news. I don't sit down and watch it. Yep. So it's I've changed too.
Yep. It's just it puts negative thoughts into your head. It really does. I don't think even when I did watch the news years and years ago, there's nothing ever positive on there. Maybe the end story where the new dog rescue was found home for a new dog or whatever, and they've got this dog playing. That's probably about the most sort of good news story you sort of see on there. That and the weather. Yep. And even the weather can't be good half the time because it's raining. But yeah.
Oh, well, we might as well finish on that positive note. So, yeah, thanks, Steve, for your time. It's been,
You're welcome.
I think everyone should take out a fair bit out of this one, I reckon, and it is a bit more business related. I probably didn't mention it at the start, but I think you can all guess where that was heading. So, and I think that was, it's a good episode. Bit off from the normal, which is good, and that's sort of, I'm trying to mix it up, but yeah, we're still working on stuff like that.
Yeah, well, hopefully, yeah, like I said, it's good for people that are looking at starting out to understand what business actually is, and it's not just about, look, I can detail a car, so I know what I'm doing. There's so much more to it. It really is. And a lot of people that, you know, sort of have started, they've learnt, like, you know, Glenn, Jared, you know, we're all learning so much more now, having business coaches, understanding what business is really about.
Yep. Yeah, I think the times have changed from years ago.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Compared to what we used to do. So I think it's a good thing. So, but yeah, there is other pods out there as well for other detailing business related stuff as well. So probably one I did not mention the other week was, I could have mentioned it, was the business of detailing. I think I might have mentioned it. So it's Jason from Chicago Auto Pros. So he's just put one out the other week. So they're starting to get back into producing more of that stuff. And
yes, I watch a fair bit. I have his stuff on here all the time from the factory, and you know, we'll sit down and watch it in our lunch breaks and stuff. So yeah, they're the sort of guys that I like to watch because they are educating people.
Yep.
You know, even that Ammo.
Yep.
He's got some good information. Can be a little bit boring from time to time, but you know, he's still got some good quality information in there. And that's the sort of thing you need to look at, is if you're starting out, look at those sort of guys. They'll really sort of help, you know, sort of give you an idea of how to do stuff.
Yep, because they've done it and been there, and they're still there, and the size of their or Jason's Chicago Auto Pros is huge now. So
it's massive now. Yeah, that new shop.
So he's definitely done it and doing it. So he can tell you how it is. So, and he's pretty genuine bloke and tells it like it is. So even better. All right, we'll wrap it up. And yeah, so how can anyone reach out to you, Steve, as well?
Yeah, just either Facebook on Iconic Car Detailing, Instagram Iconic Car Detailing, website same again. Just type it in, it'll come up. Yeah, we're pretty easy to get hold of. I'm happy to chat with any other detailers if they want to have a chat about anything. By all means, give us a call or whatever. Happy to chat about things. I'm not, yeah, like I said, I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything, but if I can help someone, great. You know, I'm happy to help. You know, give advice on what I can do. So, and yeah, there's, you know, like I said, other guys that have been on the show, they're the same. They're willing to help others as well. But yeah, then you've got the other Yes, you've got two types of guys in this industry. You've got the ones that are trying to keep it a secret, and the ones that are willing to help. You know, but yeah.
Yep. And fortunately, not everyone wants to come onto a podcast either. So come and
they're the ones that are trying to keep it a secret. So.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So, but all good. All right. Thanks everyone for listening, and yeah, we'll chat next week, and we'll have another episode for you. So, thanks again, Steve, and we'll talk soon.
Oh, you're welcome. Good talking to you.
Yep. Thanks everyone for listening. Cheers.
That was another episode of the Detailing Down Under podcast. Subscribe now for everything auto detailing in Australia.